one or two little announcements. First of all, for those who did attend the Rutlander Returns, which was I went on the one here, a very good performance and well worth every penny that we supported it with. And I'd like, if possible, for the clerk to send a letter to the organisers thanking them for such a good effort. And I hope you all did get to see it. And the other thing is I attended the AGM of the Citizens Advice Bureau on Monday, and their annual report and other documents are here. They will be in the office if you wish to read them.
Can I just say about that Rutland Returns thing? I finished a meeting today, Joy, Everett does it, and she said that they could have sold double what they actually did. And they're looking at making it into a book or something now, so that people can actually read it.
Good. So yeah, well worth us supporting that. And the other item I'm going to mention is, especially now you've all got your standing orders, is that just because when you get your agenda on Friday, can I just ask you all to make sure you understand Standing Order 35C, we do not debate items on the agenda by email. Just to let you know. Right, we'll move on, and apologies for absence.
Councillors Ine, Denia and Lucas.
Thank you. Do I have a proposal to accept the apologies? And get your bloody name. It's been a long meeting. A seconder to accept is Daniel. All those in favour? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Against? 1. Thank you.
Well, two of those people asked to move from meeting time, so they
Yes.
Declarations of interest. Members are asked to declare, if required, any disclosable pecuniary interests they may have on items on the agenda, and other interests they may have on respect to items on the agenda. Martin?
Yeah, it's item number 7.2 and number 8. It's just the allotments on the road where I live.
So 7.2, which other one?
8.
8. 7, 2.
And then
Hang on, which one? 8?
Yes.
Land's End Way.
No, item number 8.
Oh, item. Sorry. Okay.
Oh, 7, 7, 2 and
And 8. Sorry, I'm with you. Okay.
before
Any other interests?
before you
Joy was
move on to anything else, can I ask that item number 8 is moved before the planning?
No.
Because
No need to. They are two separate issues.
well, no, one is to give permission, so there's no point in us making comments on planning matters if the council changes their mind, which they have done in the past, and say, no, we don't want them. So it's best to get the permission, because we've all seen the plans, and if we're...
Well, they are even if we don't give permission for them to build them, as a landlord, we will still have to deal with the planning application, because it is a separate planning application, as with any other application. So I'm happy where it is. I see no point in moving it personally.
And also, what about Joy? You're going to have to
Are you declaring interest as well?
the Melton Road one.
Well, can I just see, because can I make a proposal that the item is moved, and if it's not, then...
You
I know someone else...
yes, you can make a proposal, yeah.
Whether item number 8 is, where would it suit you if it did get moved to be heard?
Where it is.
No, I mean, seriously, it's
Have you
before
got an
the plan,
interest
so
because of
if
the
it's
report?
moved, item 8 is moved before item 7.
But you make your proposal, and then we'll...
Yeah, that's my
it'll have to come
proposal.
before 7, because it's 8, isn't it? So you can't...
Well, we have other things as well.
Put it before 9.
6 and 5.
What's your proposal?
My proposal is we move item 8 to before item 7.
Is that seconded? That falls.
That's
I had a
fine.
declaration of interest as well.
Right, let's get back to declarations of interest. Joy,
Should I say to my husband this is the local society has an interest in different
if you've produced a report, yes.
I haven't.
Well, if
Seven,
you've
two and
issued
seven.
if you've given the office a report, then yes, because your husband's involved in it.
No, my husband gave the report. I didn't.
Tim gave it to me.
Yeah, then yes, you
Yeah.
are. Yes, you have an interest because
So,
it's your husband.
just,
Yes,
yeah.
that's it.
Sorry.
So,
You can always divorce him.
right,
So that is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's
So So
Number 8.
Joy's on number 8.
So Adam's got one.
7, 2 and 7 and 8.
2, 7.
And 7, 8.
7, 2, 7, 7 and
7,
agenda item 8.
Oh, and gender item 8.
Yeah.
Okay, Adam. So Martin suggested we moved item 8 to the next order of business, but it fell.
Yeah. Well, he wanted it before 7.
Okay.
If we don't crack on, we won't get anything done before 7.
Right, don't worry, we're going now. Has anybody else got any interest they feel they need to declare? No? Right. Are you okay?
Yeah,
sorted?
let's move
Good.
on.
Right, we'll move on then. Item 3 then is minutes of the meeting held on Wednesday the 26th of September 2018. Anybody got anything on page 1? Oh, go on then. Yes?
4318.
Yep.
The installation of the gates at Willow Crescent. I thought that we agreed that we would repair the gates, not replace them, and put in the 2 bollards.
No, we
agreed to replace them.
And
We did.
two
We did.
bollards.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
just my memory of playing tricks.
No, that's fine, yeah.
I thought we discussed.
Some people did discuss repair.
It's all right, because I thought we hadn't agreed to move the meetings till 6:30. So. Martin, do you?
Okay.
It's on page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Can I find it? I move. Do I have a seconder to accept the minutes?
Yeah.
Martin, thank you. All those in favour? Oh, would you? Zoe?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. That's okay. So that's unanimous. Right, accepted, Zoe.
So 8 and 1 abstention. Cheers.
Cracking on. Right. Item 4, decorations by the public. There aren't any. Item 5, Royal British Legion lamppost poppy project. Council agrees to allow councillors to put up and remove lamppost poppies that were purchased last year for the 2018 Remembrance Parade. Adam, do you want to lead on this, or do you want me to just...
Yeah, the council bought poppies last year and we put them up. We had the permission from Highways. We've already got the permission from Highways this year. That's no issues there. But just abiding by what the clerk advised, that the council needs to formally approve that a councillor or anybody can go and do it.
Yeah.
And one of the stipulations by Highways is that we shouldn't be paying contractors to do it. If we paid contractors, I think then they would start invoking planning applications and stuff. So that's why it falls on volunteers. There you go. That's what it is.
Yeah. So basically, because of our standing orders, councils are not allowed to carry out work or inspections of sites without proper permission. I would really, because this is going to be an ongoing thing, isn't it now? And I wonder if there's some way we can just, for this particular item, whether we need to amend standing orders or whether we can have it as an ongoing thing.
I think it's the sort of thing that we should probably bring up at the AGM when we do appointments and things, that maybe a certain working group, maybe promotion publicity working group, who have a lot of activity in this area, see you with a lamp, could maybe at the AGM, because at the end of the day we don't know who's going to be standing at the next council. No. But I would certainly say that I should have thought about this way before this point. Yeah. So I think that if we agree this evening, then probably put it onto the AGM as a point to cover that a working group has got permission to do certain things with appropriate dynamic risk assessments. Blah blah blah.
Martin?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with these. The matter of the standing order, the way that was put in was never intended to stop this sort of thing. What it was intended to do was that councillors were not allowed to go and inspect on their own and make repairs or things like that. So I didn't think that this actually needed to come to council, because otherwise you would be saying that we need permission for people to put chairs out, put bunting up and all sorts of things. Perhaps even the Christmas tree in the corner, if we're going to have one this year. But the other thing is that if I can just correct something, we didn't actually purchase them, we made a donation. And I know that because I was initially involved with discussing this with the lady before Adam kindly took it on. And I just feel that it would be appropriate for the council to consider making a similar donation this year, because to me it's a bit like reusing a paper poppy by reusing it. They never sell. They asked for donations. I gave a donation for a T-shirt today at Tesco's Royal British Legion. So that was all I wanted the council to consider.
Okay, well we can bring a paperback for that, can't we?
Yes, I think it would probably be a bit late now to make a donation. Yeah, I mean anything you do with the Poppy project, in actual fact, it's always a donation. That's how they always operate. But to all intents and purposes, the council paid 40. What was it? We bought 15 at £3 each, so £45.
Yeah.
We made a donation. At the end of the day, this is just to seek permission to put up some. They are reusable poppies.
And everybody else is.
I mean, the thing is, I haven't come back to the council and said that we need to buy some cable ties. Have I? So maybe can the council make a donation to Adam for getting some cable ties?
Yeah, I would like to say thank.
One at a time, please. One at a time. Anne's got the floor.
I would like to say thank you to the groups and the ladies, summer housebound, that have actually knitted those poppies, because I've examined them very closely before it rained on Saturday and afterwards, and they're absolutely remarkable. The knitting is superb. It's taken them time. They've donated it all, and I think it's absolutely wonderful. And I feel very upset when emails arrive that are derogatory to this. It's like the poppies, because a lot of people made those poppies. I know that the WI did, I know that other groups did, and I just think it's wonderful that people have put the time and effort into producing these things. The castle grounds look absolutely amazing, and I actually think it doesn't harm the plastic poppies that we've got these knitted ones, and I think it's absolutely wonderful.
They're protected. Can I propose that the council grant permission for the councillor to put these up in the meantime?
You may propose, seconded by Zoe. All those in favour? Thank you, that's unanimous. And may I just, before we move on to the next item, that I collected the 2 horseshoes from the Poppy project the other Sunday, and they are both in the office if you want to have a look at them before I lay them on the 11th. One's to the Baptist church, one's to the main church. Because apparently there's a woman war at the Baptist church. So that's what the gentleman.
There's also a World War I memorial in the hospital as well, which is a World War I memorial hospital.
Right, moving on. Item 6 is grip bins, to authorise the purchase of 1 grip bin for Southern Claw. Alison?
Well, hopefully you've all read the report and the policy. Even if you grant permission tonight for us to purchase a grip bin, our Rutland County Council still have a procedure that they go through and the criteria, so that they might still turn it down.
Okay. Sorry, you finished.
I know. The other thing I was just going to say is, which you'll be discussing on the 19th. Obviously, we're going to have to budget for this in the future, especially after the winter we had last year.
I was very interested. I'm actually not sure where this road is, but I'm sure somebody will enlighten me where this road is. But last winter, our road is on a hill. We're on the top of a hill, and there are several elderly people and infirm people who live in our little area that has no streetlights or anything. And I rang up the council to ask where we could get grip from it, that come and grip for us. No, you can go and fetch it, and the fetching would be like almost a mile away.
So you need a grip bin.
Well, I didn't know how you did it.
Well,
Apply to the council.
You've got
I've got it now, yes. Where is this road that they want their grip bin in?
That's Southern Close.
Southern Close is off. It's the first set of estates when you come over the railway, on the ring road. It's the first estate on the left.
Right, near the plastics.
It's the one called the Dead Councillor's Estate.
Good.
Oh, where the school used to be?
Yeah.
No.
No. Swimming pool.
Where?
Am I in the wrong area?
You go over.
No, you're just because I'm talking millions of years ago.
Schofield Road.
Schofield and Southern and
Schofield.
Tabra's up there, isn't it?
Tabra's up there. Yeah.
But that's flat. That's flat.
Off Cold Overton Road, then, isn't it?
Well, it's flat.
It's off the bypass.
It's got little humps every now and again.
It's off the bypass.
Off the bike. Oh.
It's off the bypass.
Anyway, I'd propose that we do it.
Well, we were
Can I
hoping
just
for
ask a
5 years.
question?
Yes, of course you can, Martin.
Actually,
This policy
Point of
was
order.
drawn up in 2010. It's the first time I've seen it, and it concerns me
Don't
because
give me
we actually had a drifting in the road I live in, and on a slope I scattered salt. Now, no one ever told me when I moved into Willow Crescent that I need to seek legal independent advice before actually using it. So I'm just wondering
that's bad for your heart.
how up to date this policy is, whether we should get it looked at by some legal people, because if we're paying for them now, and that surely we must have some responsibility.
Local
We
Government
should
Act
be-
thing.
Or we should be having some notice on the grip bin, use at your own risk or something, because
We have to
reading
carry
that,
our own grip from all this distance away.
when, to be honest, it seems a bit bizarre that you'd expect, not personally, but that a resident is expected to pay for legal advice before they use it. It just seems bizarre, and I just wondered if it needs revising, because it's like 2010, and
Yeah.
it's 8 years old, isn't it?
The only thing, there's two things that come out of that. First thing is that we're debating things which are not on the agenda.
Well, we
Right.
are, because it's
We're here to discuss whether we're going to get a grip bin, not about legal elements of it. That's a separate issue altogether.
No, but before
And secondly,
I
sorry, I was
approve it,
talking actually. Mike.
like-
The second thing
Hang
is
on.
that rules of debate. I thought that we were looking at probably proposing and seconding before we started talking about things.
Well, yeah, if
If it's not moving along.
If it's, yeah. Right. Do we have we move, right, do we have a proposal that we
Oh, yeah.
agree to this?
Yeah,
Oh, you have.
I was
you
going
have,
to, yeah, then let the county council decide whether it's
Yeah.
worthwhile or not.
Seconded by Paul. All those in favour? It's unanimous.
No, it's not.
Oh no, sorry. And
I'm
against?
I'm
No,
not.
because I
Against, abstention.
Excuse me, Chairman, a point of order as well. I'd like to point out I was discussing something on the agenda,
Yeah,
and I
just say the
object to
bottom.
being told that I wasn't.
But we're not discussing legal matters at grip
No,
bin.
I was-
presented the
I was gonna
policy,
say
and
that-
then we
Yeah,
voted.
we need.
So what I'm going to suggest is that I redo the policy and bring it back to council after I've took advice from highways.
Yep, that's fine.
You happy with that, Martin?
Yes,
Yep.
thank
Yeah.
you.
That's fine.
But my vote's against because of...
You
I'm
against?
abstaining.
Oh, one against.
There's one against and one abstaining.
Yeah. Right, item 7 is planning.
You're on.
No, I think there's a little what?
Right, not the builder's type, no.
No, so not a 14 then.
No.
Really tent.
Too old.
Well, now you're doing that. Camping, toilet tent.
The old thunderbolt.
Right.
Right, we'll deal with the first one, which is 0888, which is standalone WC at the allotments. There's the proposed site. And this is on, Burley Road. I beg your pardon.
So this is where Rutland House Community Trust is. Everybody?
No,
Yes? No?
not Bird Road.
Oh no, sorry. Just looking at the
Burley Road.
picture.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh!
It backs onto
And I've got
Road.
Willow Crescent on my, that's all I can think about in a minute.
It's where we had
Right,
the
so
issue
let's
with
have a look at
some
the-
overgrown things, parking, wasn't it?
Oh, there.
Oh, it looked as though it was. Oh, that's the little driveway, is it? Because it looked as though it was right in the middle of the allotments.
Well, no, that was I think that's just showing you where the proposed.
Right.
It probably is in the middle of the allotment.
Those are just the
When
roads,
they
the
get- when they
internal
get-
roads.
What it doesn't show is that people live opposite.
Not if it's right in the middle of the allotments, though.
Yeah.
No, the
it's just a
proposal
shed
is
and
that
what's
block,
it?
isn't it?
But to be honest with you, it's going to be no different to having a house on a septic tank, is it? It's a closed system, so.
Is it just one toilet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
How many did you want?
two actually, at least.
One.
Well, because
Well, they
I don't
can't.
want a unisex toilet if I had an allotment there. I'd want one for the ladies and one for the men. I'm sorry, I'm old-fashioned.
Just be grateful you got toilet.
We're still in Europe till March, so unisex is okay.
Well, two then.
Right, let's deal with what we've got in front of us. They're only asking to put up a block with one. Maybe they might. I mean, we've got no internals. Daniel,
So, didn't we do this last time? We were asking for information for how they were going to.
Yeah, well that will come on at on the other item. This is just purely planning at the moment.
I'll 1 minute.
Yeah. Good lad.
What's it built with?
It'll be block, I should think. Would you not think, Anna?
I would think it would be breeze block.
It says here brick built.
Oh, brick
There's
built.
brickwork walls
And a flat roof?
up here.
Yeah.
And that is actually a very nice allotment.
It's got a 28,000 litre shallow dug septic tank.
And that is huge.
That is-
28,000, that's
yeah.
normally for a house.
Yeah.
That's a huge septic tank.
Yeah, that's probably the smallest you can get your hands on.
Yeah.
They're called spring onions, aren't they?
Right,
Yeah.
can I propose that one?
Yes, proposed by Anne that we accept. Seconded by Zoe. All those in favour? We approve that one.
No,
Thank you.
no, one against, one time.
Oh, Martin's against. Paul?
No.
Oh,
I'll abstain.
Hang on then, let's start this
Oh, yeah.
again. Right,
I
who's
wouldn't want that.
right, sorry, can we show of hands again? Who's in favour?
I was still shut.
In favour.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Martin's against. Is that you, Martin?
Yeah.
Martin's against and one abstention.
Yep.
Okay. Right, then on to the next one, which is another standalone toilet at Willow Crescent. You can do this one now.
This is all I know.
I think this is exactly the same building. It's for those.
Neither of them are particularly in line of where anybody lives can sort of see them. I mean,
No,
they'll be in the distance.
Yeah.
But they're not.
I mean, those that went to the planning application for the Brook Road site may remember that there was mutins that gentleman, the landowner, had given the society money, and I think that's where this has all come from.
Well, that's just the same as the other one, isn't it?
Yep, just the same. Anybody got any problems with that one? No?
I propose it.
Proposed by Anne, seconded by Joy. Names tonight. I think Sally Ann's in favour. All those in favour? So that's the
Same again.
same again.
Yeah,
Against, Martin?
I have to abstain.
No, he was abstaining from that one, weren't you?
No, I'm against.
Against. Abstaining?
The residents in my ward are having enough building work down there.
Okay. Well, we're taking long as all that. Right, next. Oh, do you want to do the next toilet one as well? The 0889.
Oh yeah, can
That'll get that out of the way then, won't it?
7, isn't it?
7.
7.
Yeah.
No, that's the kitchen.
7.
That's the kitchen, the 7, isn't it?
No, 0889 is the O-gas, next O-gas one.
That one.
Yeah.
Extension to house PVC.
Is that, I presume that's the same, or is that the same?
I think I've...
Allotments.
That's a lot.
Oh, hang on, hang on.
Hang on a minute, just one moment.
It's 7.
Yeah, 7.
I can't find it.
Yeah, which is 0889.
Oh, here it is, yeah.
Oh, you're looking at the planning application
Petition number, yes.
Oh,
So that Alison knows where she's going.
Know where Lansdowne
Toilets.
Toilet.
That's in between Little and Out, yeah, no there.
Shop and the
Extension to house, do we?
Well, yeah, they've got a building, haven't they?
Oh, right.
It's the house.
Yeah.
It's the houses.
No, I see what it
Because
means.
what they've got down there, they've got a hut, for want of a better word, haven't they?
Yes.
The allotment society's hut.
Yeah.
And this is just going on the back of the hut, really.
Yeah.
Just making sure I need to tie this up. Just making sure. Yeah, extension to house, WC. Yeah, that is right.
It's not really housing, it's just a hut.
Yeah, it's just accommodating it. Yeah, just accommodating it.
It's just to house it.
Starts as a toilet and becomes a house.
I don't know why I'm bothered.
Chairman,
Yes.
could we not officially move that item, please?
No, I can take them in any order I like.
Can you?
Yeah, trust me. I'm trying to help the clerk out here.
I didn't want you getting into trouble.
No, I don't. My middle name. Any comments?
This the one where we were.
It's the same as the other two, the plan.
The main difference is this one is attached to an already existing concrete block building.
there's
There's
the
the existing building,
Yeah.
and it's going at the end, look.
And that's a horrendous building.
There it is there.
It is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, comments?
Is this not the one, or have we just gone past that one, where we were waiting to find out what they were going to...
This isn't nothing to do. This is they own this land. This is their own allotment. Nothing to do with council.
Right, okay.
Oh, well, I proposed that we have that toilet then, if they haven't got one already.
Right, so it's proposed by Anne that we agree, seconded by Joy. All those in favour?
Adam's not voting.
I'm abstaining.
And one abstention.
I have to abstain, I have an interest.
Yeah, the best allotment has an interest. It looks quite good when I walk.
Right, everyone here? Mrs. Joan Tyler and 0184. Remove redundant rotten plywood sun canopy frame from shop front, 15 High Street.
Yeah, I did, guys. That's not that
That's interesting, isn't it?
Look, I know it's early.
No, it's not Alison's fault. That's how whoever at the thingy's done it. Because I clicked on it.
Oh, did it really?
Yes.
Oh, okay, fine. There. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. But then,
Yeah. Well, that's if
Stop,
it's
just do it.
redundant and it's rotten, then
It is,
there's no issue. I'd
No,
propose
yeah.
that we accept
Yeah.
that.
Proposed by
What are
Anne,
they
we
going to put
accept.
instead? Can we ask what they're going to put instead?
They haven't, that's just asked to remove it, that's all. Seconded by Sally Ann. Any other comments before I take the vote? No? All those in favour? That's unanimous, thank you.
Is it?
Adam?
Plywood doesn't suggest antique, does it?
If they want to replace it, they'll have to come back to the planning commission, yes.
Yeah.
Alright, so 0952 is Mrs. Haywood. Proposed infill extension to dwelling 5 The Vale.
That's complicated.
What's she going to fill it with?
Probably.
Is it these ones where we...
I don't get this at all.
Bigger, look at figures on that. For us lot. Oh, there, it's existing. Oh, they're going to fill it there.
I don't know what they're going to do. What?
Put it in.
Can you guess what it is, you?
Oh, actually, at the top, if you look at the top, the top, on that top picture, the roof only goes halfway across, and on the bottom picture they've gone all the way across to whatever that. So it's there.
So just a small extension, basically.
Yeah.
They're just tacking a bit on the back.
To the back,
Front or the
yeah,
back?
back.
Well, it's a side almost. Is it side? More side, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, none of have the neighbours said anything or not?
No, there's no comments as far as I know on that. I think I didn't see anything. Any comments?
Not as well as the neighbours.
Proposed by Zoe, yes. Agree, approve. Seconded by Anne. All those in
I
favour?
was only going to say.
Yep.
That's unanimous, thank you. 0911, Mr. Sentence, remodelling and extension to existing 4-bedroom property and associated development, 11 Catmus Park Road.
Associated development, exactly. Associated development. Oh, sorry. Oh, neighbour. Oh, don't move it, don't move it ready yet.
Well, we're not happy about the gate on the public highway.
No, when you look at where that window is, it will be blocking out their light to their front room.
I don't think you have any right to light now, do you?
Well, no,
No, you can't block light, but you don't have a right to a view.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, a lot of those houses have been developed, and you can look at some of the windows when I've leafleted them, and some of them just get to the point where they've put film over the windows that look into neighbours' front gardens.
Oh, I see.
See, now they can see.
Yeah,
But
where?
when they stick something there, they can't.
Yeah.
Right, well then, unfortunately you don't have a rights to view, but you have got rights to light.
Right, yeah.
The only thing they could object to is if they were facing windows.
They're not.
No.
They've got roof windows, right?
They're going to look at a blank wall, won't they, basically? Which is not nice, but that's
No.
Well,
What's
on
this
a
gateway?
northern elevation,
But then
that would
the
make
states
much
put in
difference.
Any other comments?
What's this gate that they're going to put in on exactly on
Yeah.
What's that?
It looks like they're putting a gate at the front, I think. Onto the highway? Is that the high? This is Catmas Park Road, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
private
That's the
road,
one on
isn't
the
it?
corner.
So it's going to be onto the dirt track, surely, not the
That's
highway.
not the one, you know, where I lived on Uppingham Road. There's on the corner. Just as you know where the roads meet, you've got South
No, this
Street.
is
No,
this is Catmas Park
Catmas
Road.
Park Road,
Stamford Road.
which is the private
Oh,
road.
the private road, sorry,
opposite,
yeah.
Is it about it opposite Edmonds? Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's a dead end, isn't it? You can't get. Yeah, I know where you mean
I
now.
think it's very close then now to their property.
See that gate just the thing I'm going to say is where the gate's going to be at the bottom of that very large tree, which I presume that's the gate they're showing there sliding across. Does the next door neighbour have to access through the same gate to get to their property? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know,
So
because
just go back, Alison.
the gentleman that lives in that house is the bloke that owns Rutland Farm Park. So whether he uses that dirt track to get round to the Rutland
Oh,
Farm Park.
okay.
Is that the gate here that's going to slide across? And if so, does that neighbour have to go through here to get access? Because you can't block somebody's access with a gate. It's against the law. So I don't know. It's against the especially on the highway.
It's not a,
It's a shared access and
It's private road.
it's not a planning thing, it becomes a...
Well, no, but we have to
It becomes a civil thing.
yeah.
And it's a nightmare.
But we could make a comment that we're concerned that the neighbour's access may be restricted by the gate. Yeah.
Well, I think it's too close to their house now, to be honest.
Right. What do you want to say? Come on, let's have a proposal. Let's have something on the
I
table.
propose that there is a complaint from a neighbour who states two things. They're close.
Three things, I think it was.
Was it three things? And I can see what they're saying.
Well, do you want to say we as a council would like to uphold the objections of the of the neighbour? Is that what you want to say?
Yes.
Anybody got anything else they want to say? Not happy with what I've just said?
No, that's fine.
I'll
Are
propose
you
that.
refusing it then?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
If we're talking access to people's property, surely we'd need to see information from a surveyor to know that anyone's access isn't being obstructed anyway.
Well, on a shared drive, I speak from experience, for nearly £40,000 worth of experience, that you put a gate up on somebody's shared drive and you can't close it. Because they're allowed access. So, but I mean that is like Martin was quite correct actually. That is a legal thing and a civil thing. But if I think we should just follow what the neighbours agree with.
I'm just thinking, in the interest of thoroughness, we'd need to know for definite anyway whether anyone's being obstructed in the first place.
Flip back to the photographs again, because it came back.
They wouldn't be, they wouldn't be seeking planning permission for the gate. So we're considering...
No, it was on the application, wasn't it, the gate?
Well, I suppose it'll show on the plan, but you don't need planning permission for a gate.
There is another thing that's got to go on
I'm sure that would depend if it's a shared area.
Are they trying to apply permission for all this building around that original bungalow?
Only the
Only the red bit.
So it would be done with the rest?
Yeah, only the red bit. Yeah, you see, the one on the left-hand side is current, and on the right-hand side is what is proposed by the applicant.
What's the bottom one?
All that shaded area is original drawing.
Yeah.
The green bit's the original, I think, and then all the other bits are extra.
I didn't know whether it was green.
No, he's going to put two windows in, three dormer windows, or Velux windows in on the side, and then put an extension on. Thanks, Adam.
Is that
The red line there shows the extent of the extension. The red lines here show that they're going to put some windows in there. These are roof windows, so they won't be overlooking. All this is existing. And this, I think, is meant to indicate the fact that where they can look out the window, they can see whatever they can see. They won't be able to see that anymore. But as I said, you can't refuse loss of view, only through loss of light. Now, is that impacting loss of light?
I think that's what's surprising. And lots of light.
Light comes normally downwards, doesn't it? From
Not in the
the
winter.
big round thing.
Not in the winter.
Oh, is he being flippant?
But it also
Couldn't slap it.
what it says in their deeds, because I had a property in Peterborough that said I had no right to light.
Right. Well, I've proposed that we uphold the neighbours' objections.
Yes.
And is that seconded?
Yes.
By whom?
Sally Ann. All those in favour?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those against? 1. Abstaining?
Edit that for me.
Abstaining.
An abstention from Martin as well. Thank you.
You're allowed to,
0950, Mr. Smith. Lovely story. Single story and first floor extension to the rear of the dwelling house, 193 Brook Road.
Nice.
Oh, I see.
Big, isn't it?
We've already got a garage, it's just got a bit on the top and a bit round the back.
Oh, Salisbury. I thought there was pictures of this. You didn't remember seeing any photos? Oh, I thought there was. Right, okay, that's all we've got then.
What's the proposed floor plan there in the other tab when you open that up? There was
Of
another
what?
tab.
Here,
Yeah, I thought there was a tab at the top. Is that not a tab at the top?
here.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what.
it's not.
Not very good floor plan, is it?
No.
Yeah, actually, it's the roof plan, but
It's got more chimney pots in it. Was that why you got more waters in this?
Oh, there is photos.
hang on, just one moment.
There
Just
must
one moment,
I
ladies and
thought I'd
gentlemen.
seen photos. Yes. I thought I did green one. There's,
Do you want to have a quick?
Oh, that's nice.
there's these single story and first floor extension.
But looking on that first photo, it looks like an improvement already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's to the rear and it looks like we've got quite a lot of space.
Yeah.
Loads.
It's pity there's not a site plan showing where it sits with the
And it
other properties,
doesn't-
isn't it?
There's some
It
of
extends
these.
far enough out so
It doesn't look like it's going to increase the size of the footprint either, does it?
No.
No.
No, it's just going it's going up over the garage, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Lovely. Comments, proposal then?
Yeah.
We approve. Proposed by Sally Ann, we approve. Seconded by Martin. All those in favour?
Yep.
Unanimous? You sure?
Go first.
It's just
No, I meant as in unanimous, I meant.
Oh, right. 0772, listed building. Oh, this one isn't it? We missed Mr. Cooper. Repair of cottage, demolition of kitchen, single story rear extension to create new kitchen dining room, 29 Belton Road.
I'm a bit confused about
I did,
this.
no, so I did send some
Oh, this is
information
what's
over.
it? This is Old Dwarf's cottage.
Yeah, Old Dwarf's Cottage. Yeah.
But it's
Oh.
not.
Except that it isn't.
What do you mean it's
But
not?
it's still old though.
You've obviously not read.
It's still very old, I can point
It's
out.
an 18th century cottage where Geoffrey Hudson was 1700, so he may well have lived in a building on that site. Or
But he
in
never
that
lived in the
area,
cottage.
But he didn't actually live in that cottage because it's younger than he is.
But it's got a blue sign, so.
Yeah.
Well,
But there's just
just
room
like
done by
trying-
police.
any
and
year
Come on, Joe, next you'll tell me there's no Father Christmas.
We're not going to get any tourists now.
Go home and take the blue plaque
Well,
off.
I think
Well, I'm
On this
shocked.
site, nothing happened.
I'm shocked that they started altering things before they've had permission, so I think.
They always do if it's
Well, it's
listed
wrong.
buildings, so that they can do what they want.
They were not aware that they were inexperienced and were not aware that listed
Course.
building consent was like, and they have actually had a really good go at the interior before anybody stopped.
But
them.
at the same time, it annoys me Rutland County Council did nothing and then all the
What's
stores
that?
They
came
Right.
did.
out and
Oh, yes, they
bought it
did.
Oh, just go back
They
to
sent
the-
somebody straight
which one?
down, and they started working
floor
and they
plan, I
sent
think.
somebody again straight down to stop it.
It took a long
Yeah, we're
time
there.
because they demolished
What's
the whole
this
of the
at the back now? The west elevation as proposed,
Conservatory.
with
For a kitchen,
bifold
is it?
doors on a historic building.
No way.
I couldn't work out
I
where
love
this
it.
magical England was supposed to be.
I think it's, if I'm being serious, this bungalow or whatever it is, this thatched cottage, is not as such as historic importance as everybody initially has been misled to believe, and also it is a badly placed, a building in much need of sort of support, and I think for anybody to want to live there, they're going to need more than what is currently there. So The thing is, it's hidden at the back, that extension, isn't it?
Yeah, but perhaps we should think more about bringing tourists into the town, and that is, what is it, 18th century? Which is 1700.
not going to change.
It's not a tourist attraction. I mean, you're not going to open it up and let people go through the back. Oh, don't go through there, there's a new toilet. You know what I mean? It's
Put that as a
from the front. You can only ever see the front. Sorry, George.
Joy?
What is important, I think, is that we should support what has been proposed, that this site needs to have proper archaeological exploration before they start to do anything, and that when they are working on the interior of the cottage, that they need to be following the guidance of the conservation officer, so that the features that survive in the cottage,
Like the roof timbers,
are maintained, because they are 18th century. They date back to the 1700s. It's about as old as they get. But the house has to be livable in.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know the cottage well. I know what the kitchen was like. If I'd have bought that, I would have been thinking something similar. And you cannot necessarily build something at the back that's going to look like the rest of the building. There are two ways of doing it. You either build something that looks like it wasn't part of the original building, which is a faux thing, an artificial thing, or you build something in good modern architecture that actually contrasts with what you've got originally. And as it's on the back now, I don't think that would be a bad thing to do.
But they should look to see what's underneath.
But they have to do they have to do
Martin?
the archaeological
Yeah. Sorry, Joy. Martin?
The interesting thing about the archaeological thing is the fact is that they've already demolished and already dug out. So I don't see what benefit that is.
Slightly later.
You don't know.
Sorry?
You don't know.
No, but they've already dug out the back.
They haven't.
They have. They've demolished what was already there and dug it out. I visited the lady there when I first heard about the statue that was in the garden, so I know what was there before. It wasn't in keeping. So I don't object to them. You can't see it from the road. But all I would be concerned about is keeping the...
Okay, well, everybody, I mean, we seem to agree that we want something to be done there to make it livable, but, and it's a big but, so we need to decide what our comment is about the big but.
That we fully support the council's approach in ensuring that the archaeological elements are now visited and appropriate care and consideration is given to the future protection of what archaeological value is left
in the cottage, and that the area that will be covered, but the new kitchen is bigger than the original one, so how much they dug out we don't know. The original kitchen, the kitchen they've taken down is on the site of an earlier building, an earlier extension that was there in 1789, but it was rebuilt in the 19th century, so what they've taken down is not old.
But underneath it should be.
So that'll be covered under the archaeology. Is everybody happy with that?
and I think they will improve greatly once the high street is closed and made pedestrianised.
No, look, don't please do not wind Anne up.
Yeah, so that was the proposal that those sort of comments go forward, I think. Are you proposing that, Anne?
No, I want to say something.
Oh,
well, I'm aware from what I've read, I don't know if it was on what was sent to us, but they have to have wooden window frames.
Correct.
You can't have plastic. Now that extension to me has plastic written all over it, double glazed plastic doors.
It's a very good point, actually.
And so you can't have that. We want to know what the materials are.
However, the existing building, i.e. cottage, would have to be wooden.
Yes.
But the extension
could be. You know, I mean, I was a bit gutted when I walked by the pub opposite now, because what they've done at the frontage there is with all that metal work. That actually, to me, takes away a lot of the character of what the White Line was.
Well, I blame the county council for this because they're not really keeping up to date.
Daniel.
It would be better to...
I'll bring you in a minute.
I do worry about any work getting done to the front of the house, given the width of the road outside there. If they're going to have to start blocking it off, given the fact that cars park directly behind it, opposite the Domino's, it's going to cause an absolute nightmare down there. We'd need to have some sort of caveat in there. If they are going to carry out any work on the front, either you have to get...
Well, they'd have to have a road
because one parks and loads park, then you get the domino effect.
Exactly. Well, to be, with all due respect, while they were working there, they had 3 vans parked on the single yellow line all day, every day.
There'd be more room now that the flower shop's moved.
Yeah, Paul.
I was just going to say it might be nice actually. The extension is very different from the actual cottage. It's
Contrast.
Got to be wood.
Contrast, and if it's sort of glazed as well, you know, it's going to be nice and light and airy, and sort of living there.
If nothing gets done, it'll just go to Marie.
Okay,
I think we've captured.
I think we've
Yeah,
captured most of that in
report,
there.
but the archaeological reports, did you say?
It's done with sympathetically
Oh.
in regard to the archaeological
Okay.
Investigations.
Can I just
observations.
ask you a question? Is Mr. Cooper is going to be the owner occupier of this building, or is he the developer?
No idea. He's the chap who's put the planning application
I
in.
think he's a developer.
Well, then I'm sorry, but then we shouldn't pass it because he started before he should have done. He stood up the back garden before he should have done. So I'm against it now. And if he was the owner, I might consider it. But if he's the developer, no.
Just before we move on, and I'm going to ask Adam, and I'm putting a bit on the spot as a county councillor. Does the county council have any redress against these people? Or is it just a case of, well, we slap you on the legs
Well,
and that's...
well, no. Even from our point of view, we've had numerous occasions where we've had retrospective planning applications where people have gone ahead and started and done the work. At the end of the day, what happens is that the county council, like the town council, like most councils, try and work with those people because, for a start, for a council to go along and say, right, demolish all that, it again becomes a legal battle, and no council wants to go into it. So. But what they do is that I think that report that came through from wherever it came through from, and also the county council's approach, is to be as sympathetic as they can. And that's why I'm feeling that the building out the back, although different, complements the fact new and old. And you're right, Daniel, that as long as the front is pretty much left untouched and the wooden windows, you can replace wooden windows, and there are carpenters that make them to a certain standard. So they will work. Everybody needs to work together on this. So yes, it does come across as we shouldn't change anything. But if you don't change it, it won't. I mean, it took ages to sell, didn't it?
Okay, are we all...
But just say it would be actually good with the proposal there. Someone would move in and use it as a home. You know, at least they look after the front bit of it.
But it's the developer that's doing
Okay, so we've got that's the proposal we've got.
Reference to the wooden windows at the front. You have to have a certain decibel rating to actually make that livable anyway. And if that's got to have lorries and that's going to cause a hell of a lot of noise.
They can make double glazed, because I used to live in the fourth oldest house in Heckington, and we had double glazed units, but they were all...
You end up in some of these windows now, because of the restraints of what wood and maybe the framing is. Bear in mind, these walls are probably like this thing. Instead of having the standard 24mm that we have at our glazing in our houses, you can get narrow glazing now, which is like, I think, less than 12mm or something. But you still get the gap to help with it.
So yeah, there is ways around it, but you can still end up with the existing...
And obviously on that one there, you're just living the extension out of that.
I do feel like I haven't been vociferous enough with the traffic problem this could cause. I mean,
but that would be down
a
to...
nightmare after the bloody barriers come up and the cars have gone all the way through the town. And if you've got that coming both ways...
I understand, yeah, but I think if they... Because I think if I remember the regulations correctly, if you're going to block more than half the highway, you will have to end up with the road closure and traffic lights. But that'll have to go to the county council
That's a separate thing altogether. And this cottage has had the corner of his thatch taken off so many times by buses.
Well, it needs new thatch anyway.
Okay, so it's... Oh, Martin, very quickly.
Can I,
because Zoe wants to come
putting
on.
things together on it, obviously you want some sort of comment to go to the county council, is that we'd ask that, you know, I know things are going on, that the conservation officer really does pay attention, like they did with Floor's house, because everything down to the detail of light switches in there came to council. But what I would like to say, and I think it's important for me to say, is that I'm quite pleased that as a council we're taking interest now, because when I first came to this council with property in the town, I was told many years ago, probably about 2010, what's it got to do with us? So it's a positive that we are showing interest in our town.
Okay, so we've got all that. We're quite... Yes, it's all... Yeah,
archaeological groundwork we need. And the interior to be sensitively done.
Yeah, we've got all that. That's all in. It's quite a substantial proposal we got there.
I'll propose it.
Proposed by Adam, seconded by...
That they maybe they work on the front because it has been looking shabby with the boarded up door for a long time, and visitors do go to it, whether it's Hudson's Cottage or not. It's on the Heritage Trail, and over the last summers or so, it's looked dreadful for visitors.
Seconded by proposed by Adam, seconded by Anne. All those in favour? That's all.
You haven't got your hand up.
I know.
2, 4, 6, 8, 4. Are you abstaining? And 1 abstention.
Go on, have a go.
Go on, say it.
You again. I shall speak to you.
Sorry, Mum.
Right, let's move on for it. 0621 revised plan, proposed conservation and alteration to the existing vacant. Oh yes, it's the vacant bank because they want to turn it into a deli, don't they?
It's the one.
Otters.
Yeah, it's Otters.
The old Westminster, not Westminster.
It's NatWest.
The old NatWest Bank. We did have this before.
And also, can I just remind members that you actually did pass it,
Yeah.
the original one.
I mean, it's a good anything that gets.
So we're going to put the building on its side.
Wow, it's magic, isn't it?
Oh, no, it's going upside down. So this is
Oh,
NatWest.
six o'clock.
So this is
the old
this is a
one.
decision to turn it into a deli, is
This
it?
is the
Yes,
old Nat.
yeah.
You know Otters down Mill Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want bigger premises.
Well, they're good options.
Don't
are
they going to
brilliant.
stay both
No,
open?
no.
I've heard. I heard them,
What are they doing?
I heard them going to have 2 shops.
Oh gosh.
Oh, lovely. Do I have to declare an interest of it? Oh,
I know this is going to be opposite my
yes, you do,
office.
yeah.
That's
Can I
lethal.
say something?
Anne wants to come in to thank us for the floor.
Thank you. I heard that there is part of it that's, what's it called? Joyce did tell me, but I can't remember what it was. No, historic in some way.
Yes, it's why it's got an LBA. It's a listed building.
Yes.
Yes, it's
So-
a building, yeah.
So what haven't they got to do then? What's the bit that they want to do?
what have they changed from the last?
Yes.
I didn't see the last application. What's the amendment? Do we know?
Proposed conversion
the
alterations to
frontage? 'Cause I've
existing
never seen that
A1 to
frontage.
use to create new deli, including
No, that's definitely
conversion
changed.
to unused
The
floor.
colour
It's
is
it's internal work.
Yeah.
Oh right, in that case, I would
We must have missed
I'll
that.
propose it.
A picture.
Proposed by
have
Adam.
no issues with that.
No, because we need to have them.
Can we just say
Conservative
again
man.
that the conservation officer, presumably the conservation officer is gone through this one as well.
I think we only have him, don't we? One day a month or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, one day a month.
Yeah.
It's from South Casteven, and they got a lot more old things in Casteven than they have there.
We need to make our town.
You're joking.
Yes.
Presumably.
I had my conservation. When I did my conservation officer around every blooming day.
Yes, I mean, you could put a caveat or a footnote, Alison, then that the conservation officer does keep a close eye on this as well.
Yeah.
Because it is a beautiful building.
Yeah.
But it's
It'd-
certainly
it'd-
right that it should be.
And it'd be nice to see it back in use, actually.
And otters are tip top.
Yeah.
And the frontage on the ground floor has already been turned into a shop, so there's,
Yeah.
the fact that that's been
Yeah.
altered, it's the upstairs.
So my-
interiors.
So I'm still happy to propose, Chairman.
Proposed by Adam, that we accept, seconded by Joy. All those in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you. Zero,
That's Sally.
01020.
You know, Sally
I'm not even
Holmes.
going to try and pronounce the guy's name. It's change of use from the florist to a Chinese beauty
This is-
therapist. Oh, he's a guy from
This is the one.
massage therapy. I would think so.
Good.
This is the one.
17 Melton Road.
This is opposite Saps.
Oh yeah.
It was Sally
Next
Holmes.
is the wonderful vaping centre we got into.
Yeah,
Yes, she's moved.
she's gone already. Oh, she's moved, has she?
Yeah, she's gone already. Yeah,
It's moved.
Where's she gone to?
she's round the corner.
She's moved into the disability shop.
Yeah, next to the.
Oh,
yes,
that's better. That was. Oh.
Yeah.
No, she was further
No,
on,
she
wasn't
was. She was down in the high street originally.
The disability shop that was Troy.
No, next door to Troy's. Next door to Troy's. It was Troy's, and that used to be Melton Open Blinds.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It used to be the haberdashery shop until Wilco's opened.
Yeah.
As well.
Haberdashery.
Yeah.
Grace Brothers.
Yes.
This is, I think, once again, this is an ideal spot. And
Yeah,
it's,
good use.
And it-
somebody's expanding their business, and I haven't got any issues with that. So I'll,
Where is he at the moment?
he's over the road.
Across the road in a like tiny little one of the little tiny shops opposite.
Nails and things.
No, no, that's around the corner. He is basically a Chinese doctor, isn't he?
Also, I propose that we accept it.
Yeah, I'll second.
Second.
Because that's a big shop to be empty.
Yeah. All those, that's unanimous.
Who seconded it?
Sally Ann. Mimi?
Unanimous.
I can get my back done as well.
Number 20. Mr. and Mrs. Bryan. A proposed rear single-storey extension and replacement enlargement of porch on Wilson Close. That was a big size, Sally Ann.
Yeah.
Ready for your tea, aren't you, darling?
Yeah.
Anderson's there.
There we are.
Hamilton Close, that's the...
Yeah, it's off the bypass.
that's off the 8...
Oh, that's off Old Sport
Old
Way,
Sport,
isn't
that's
it? I've walked so many of these places.
So nobody's complained or anything about that then?
No,
There's quite a lot of land as well if you look at it.
And it's a rear extension
Look,
anyway.
it's quite a lot of land there, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'd say I've had to use that.
Everybody happy with that one? Proposal, please?
Yes.
Accept. Proposed by Joy, seconded by Sally Ann. All those in favour? I don't know if you were seconded it or voted then, Sally Ann.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing it.
You ran the
I just want to go home.
That's the spirit of it.
1,000, Mr. Greenfield. Park garage conversion to form enlarged study and playroom. One
Yeah.
large field.
It's changing this.
This is common practice, as we've said before, where people turn garages into living space.
Yeah.
So I personally haven't got any objections.
No, his neighbour's pretty.
Has he got adequate car parking space? Is that it?
Does he have a car parking space?
That's what I was
Going to
saying.
have a look at it. Just have a-
He's got two parking. Will have two car parking spaces.
In terms of parking,
You've got,
Because it's a double garage and they're making
Is there a
one.
side
elevation or side elevation? Oh, let's have a look. Oh, we've got some
Okay,
comments.
plan.
We've got comments. Let's look at
Ooh.
comments first.
That's the neighbour and he loves it.
Does he?
The garage is impractical for use of parking vehicles as the access onto the road can... there you go, it says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He mentions the Chinese there, doesn't he? Oh no, it didn't. Combined with orientation, sorry. Makes entering and exiting the car extremely difficult. Cars are too big or garages are too small, don't they?
It's at a funny angle as well. And it probably, when he's driving into his garage, he's probably driving over his his driveway to get into his garage. So
Cool.
it sounds pretty.
Proposed that we accept by Joy, seconded by Anne. All those in favour?
Yeah.
That's unanimous.
Sure,
Thank you.
Don't press it, darling. He's really-
09967 Cat.
Right. For some
Oh
reason-
yes, right on to trees. Now you will all
We've not been told what we've got to do.
you will all seen the email from the tree ward, and I must admit, I did ask Joyce to let me know if there was any comments. Daniel, have you got any comments on it? No. So the first one is to fell a sycamore, a silver birch at 6 Dean Street.
And Joyce recommended this, didn't she?
No, she recommended not.
No, she says it's not going to be cut down
Why?
because
Is
it's...
there any pictures of it?
No, that's...
What she's asked for is what is the
Mine's got the
reason for the
original
wanting it
legal
fell?
Joyce has got
If I remember the email correctly.
I think it should be. Something to inspect.
It's-
So I think we should say, on the recommendation of our tree warden, we...
Can I comment?
Yes.
I did the neighbourhood walk in Dean Street, and it is very lacking in greenery. And I think to lose anything that is visible in the road
Yes.
and provide some green relief in this, it would be a shame to lose it for no really good reason.
What's the reason they're given for wanting to fail?
Joyce has put here, there is no information on the application as to the reason for felling. Therefore, unless there is a significant reason for felling, I would not recommend.
Yes.
Oh, it's that one, is it?
I think it's a new.
Right, yeah, it's that one on the corner. Yeah, you know the one on the
I don't know if
corner.
that ever got planning permission. I know it was an earlier planning permission that they're acting on, but I really
I know,
don't
yeah,
understand
that's
the
you know
conservation
where the merry monkeys and at the back they're doing all that. It's
Yeah.
there. That tree's quite nice actually.
So I think then, if we're all happy, then on the recommendation of the Town Council's tree warden, we do not agree to the felling of this tree.
I propose not. Oh, we don't have to propose it.
Yeah, you do.
Proposed by Anne, seconded by Joy. All those in favour?
No, I'm against.
What's the matter with him tonight?
It's just always in one of their moods. Yeah.
I'm against it.
It's all in favour other than his
It still
lordship.
gets carried
You
still.
don't have to, you don't have to.
Can you minute that though, please?
Right, and 1024
I hate trees.
is the fell of one conifer tree, the News Cottage, 52 High Street. If you can find it, is what I understand. And the tree warden has no problem with this because it's in the weirdest of places.
Well, I think you can go along that bit to get to that car park, but she said there isn't a car park there.
No, so it's a private entry. That is.
So you've got Happy Walk and then the citizens' advice. It's just up the alleyway to get up to the house. It doesn't go anywhere else, does it?
It doesn't go anywhere else. No.
It's quite a professional plan, isn't it?
Who's
Yeah, at least I can understand that one.
whose land is it on, please?
52.
So it's on 52's land? But there's a flat there as well, and there's another
It's
thing.
still there. Oh, she wants that one job.
She wants that chop.
Yeah, she says there's no problem with this one. It's just, it said
Do you want it done chop chop?
Shop service.
We have done it this before. Can I recommend, because obviously a conifer tree is not, what's the word, I don't know, it doesn't belong here.
Indigenous.
Indigenous. Can I recommend that they, because obviously I don't like losing trees, but a conifer tree is fine. But we have recommended before that they're replaced with something.
Yeah, but that's in a passageway.
Well, perhaps what, I don't know.
Surely a bonsai tree would be appropriate.
We need to.
Could we not say something along the lines of, we are happy, we don't mind it being felled if you'd like to donate another tree to us to put in the park?
Yeah. What sort of conifer tree is it? I mean,
Conifer tree.
Well, there's massive.
it's a very big one, you know what I mean?
Well,
I can tell you it's got long needles.
it's got long needles.
Long needles.
And it's got long needles.
Larch.
So it's a large Scandinavian, lesser known.
That's
I think
obvious.
I mean that's a narrow foot passageway.
Yeah.
So that's, the tree's obviously found its own way. in
I
there.
would think somebody put it in as a small plant and it's just, yeah, it could have been, yeah. It's just grown. It started as a bonsai tree.
I'd propose
Joyce
it's
said
felled.
that the roots are coming up so people could trip over. You couldn't get a pushchair, and the needles are very dangerous if somebody fell on them.
What?
The needles
They'd have to be on the roof to fall on them, wouldn't they?
Sorry? The roots are coming up.
Right, should we vote this one? So it's recommend felling, yeah?
I propose that we
Fell it.
So it's recommended that we fell, seconded by Joy, proposed by Adam. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Dear.
Sally Ann?
See, I think, just before we take the next item, I think having early meetings is not good. Sally Ann's just completely lost the plot. Do you
comes
need to,
from the park.
Zoe, you need to go, darling, or
I'll just do this last one.
you're okay for a minute? Right, let's crack on then, please. Item 8 is Oakham Home Gardens Allotment Society to consider whether as landlords, we're happy with them installing toilet blocks. Basically. Martin, so I nearly called you out.
I would like to express my disappointment that, and maybe it will change, that when our tenants want to do something, then the council actually asks for further information. Perhaps in the future we could have working groups and get something a little better, so we don't get things sprung on us. But also, I think this is the opportunity to, which I did put in an email, where I think that if we had a working group, we could have actually built these ourselves with their funding, because I have a feeling, knowing the experience.
What? How are we going to build a toilet?
Well, they're on our land, so they can't take them away. But what I'm concerned about in the future, knowing that these people come to us when they didn't have money for everything from cutting hedges to putting in a water pipe to replacing fences, how long is the money they're going to have last to pay for all the things that are required to service these toilets? That's my concern. And then we probably could end up, which in the past we have had some shoddy condition buildings on Willow Crescent. We had a dog training school there, and they were demolished when they went away because they were in such poor state of repair. So I personally don't even see the need. For hundreds of years there's been allotments without toilets.
Yes, but we've moved forward.
It's been in the 21st century.
Thank you, Joy.
And who's going to clean them when all the men go in with their money?
But that's
Nothing to do with
our
us.
problem.
Joy.
No, but it's on our land.
My only stipulation would be, having waded through all the files for Willowbrook, is that when this is done, something goes in the file which is legal and explains exactly what our responsibilities and their responsibilities are, so that when we've all gone and somebody else goes back and says, what about these toilets they put in 10 years ago? Whose job is it? It is there in black and white.
We can ask for an indemnity, can't we?
Yes, it would include things like in the event they give up the allotment, they have to put the building, the land
back to how it's found.
And who's responsible? Who's responsible?
which is what you have with Willowbrook.
Proper legally done, so it's in the file.
That's not a problem.
Because, yeah.
Will they have a septic
Their
tank
lease,
thing like
their
we do?
leases are
Yes,
done by
all
the
of the vault
system. Lease is done by us.
Where does the water come from? Don't you have to have
You have to put a
water? You
variation.
don't.
Well, no, you're correct. They've got that flushing water. That will come from their water, their existing water supply.
Yeah, they've got a water meter. They've got a water meter. They pay for all
They
that.
pay for everything.
Sally Ann.
Is this what I was on about? Is this the one where we were on about before that we sent away until they can give us proof of what they're going to be doing?
Well, the question that was asked was, how are they going to pay for it? Which in actual fact isn't our concern either, because they are a society. If they have provision to put toilets up, how they pay for it and how they maintain it and pay for the maintenance, it is their problem.
But it is a concern.
Well, it is, but as I alluded to earlier, on the Brook Road, from what I understand, on the Brook, when the Brook Road, they were moved off the Brook Road site, the landowner didn't give those allotment holders, they gave money to the society to help out. And I think you're not recording, are you, anymore? No, it was a sweetener, I think, for them to go.
Anyway, we've gone on.
I would propose that we accept it. I think allotments are a vital
Seconded by Sally Ann. Seconded by Sally Ann.
Okay, I think allotments need toilet
Yeah.
blocks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Building
With the usual, we'll just say yes. We approve with the usual caveats on
and lease agreements.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll have to be a variation to the lease.
You can sort that out.
So do the caveats include upkeep?
Yes. Yeah.
They will pay for the
Then I'll be happy is we've got to make it very clear and enforce it that we don't get a bill further down the line.
No, because as soon as they if at any point anything needs paying for, they'll come back and we'll have to say yay or nay.
It just has to be
We'll
very
just say
clear
no,
that
probably.
we have no responsibility for the management.
We'll have to bring the lease back, won't we?
Yeah.
Do you think?
We'll sort it all out, and if they say we'll bring a lease back to have a quick look at council. Everybody happy?
Yeah.
All those in favour?
If you've got an interest, can you still vote?
Yeah. If you said you can, if you want to,
You want to use it now.
you can still.
Stop it.
You said you had an interest in this one before the meeting.
No, you are still. It's only
still vote.
if it's got No, it's not peculiar.
That's very rude of you. Are you up or down?
I'm going to keep abstaining on all the allotment stuff.
Because that's fine because of his interest. It just keeps in.
I actually own all the allotments, but it's supposed to go to secret.
You'll be getting a
yes, I have an
pay for
allotment.
everything after.
Okay. All.
Yes.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your Halloween.